at the end of the whole thing, right? Now, if they fail for the whole 1 year, for the purpose that you're meant to go and do, and they fail on that program, then obviously, what is the purpose? Now, my suggestion is this. Whoever is going to be at the helm of the NYSC should be either a retired civil servant, should be a businessman or businesswoman, people who could actually tailor a program for them, that when you finish, you're being sent to where you're supposed to be sent to go and serve and learn and gain experience.
Or in other words, NYSC should not be run as a business organization, and not as a paramilitary organization.
Absolutely. You see here, now, you have a lot of them. I think I read somewhere about this Palliative as well. You have a chunk of these guys that have been sent to go and teach. I've been talking about this for a very long time. Stop using graduates to go teach in schools. We are destroying the foundation of our educational system. Now, majority of these graduates that go to school to teach are half-baked already, right? They need to be mentored. They need to be taught. They need to be trained. Now, you're sending somebody who lacks experience of teaching. You see, when you talk about teachers, we have to begin to give credit to teachers, because they mentor, they coordinate, they have customer services, they know how to build people. Now, these people just from school to go teach. Now, what sort of quality of education are they going to impact on our pupils in the primary school? We are destroying the foundation of our primary education in this country. Now, if you want to send graduates to go teach during their NYSC program, go sort for people who read BE education, who had NC's qualification. Those people, to some extent, has been trained and groomed as a teacher, not just anybody to go teach. If we don't stop that, our pupils, and the foundation of any country obviously starts from there. And if you bastardize and mess up the brains of our kids when they grow up, they'll become useless. And that's what we're having now. So my suggestion is stop using military as the head. Use people, business people who could actually coordinate and tell this is how to, like you said, run that as a business entity, not as a private. We're not fighting war anywhere. And all these guys that go to NYC are not carrying guns or to go fight anyway. So it should be run as a business entity and not as a paramilitary entity anymore.
So, Mike, I'm going to keep you here for another couple of minutes as we talk about other issues. Counting down, of course, to May 29. On Sunday, this administration will be celebrating 1 year in office. So we'll take a look at some of the issues, other issues, of course, that have come up. So, just give us your assessment of how the 1 year has been. Yes, it's been a very challenging year, no doubt about it. But then there must have been some good along with the ugly, bad and the ugly.
Well, it's a 50-50 approach, if I may use that word. But if you ask the general public about what their perception is going to be, they will tell you it's been the most challenging period they've ever had. And the reason for that is this current government are trying to plug in the holes of where we've had shortfalls economically and in the areas of infrastructure as well. Now, there are a lot of wars that goes on in the streets in the areas of power, and that is really an area where nobody really knows what's going on.
But then you have constant vandalism of pipelines, and you have militants blowing up electricity lines as well. And so it just seems as if we're sabotaging the very efforts that have been put in by this administration.
Absolutely. It's just like we haven't, I'm not it's not a confirmed statement, but it's like people are saying, okay, you think you can do it. So we're also going to do everything to make sure that we make the government difficult for you to run. And I think it's not been fair, because what we do to ourselves is going to affect us, not just us, but our children, children. Now, if you blow up pipelines that carries the supply gas and petroleum, obviously it's a general phenomenon. And like people always say that when the heaven falls, it's not going to fall on one person's head, it's everybody's head. So, I guess we should be supporting an administration that has a vision for the entirety of all of us, rather than trying to mess up the whole thing. I don't think it's fair. But all in all, I couldn't say 100% or 20%, but I think at the moment it's 50-50.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for giving us your thoughts on that one. I'll let you go at that.